So, okay, so have a strap and maybe blocks or a chair, you know the drill, but definitely a strap for the end of practice, or a tie or blanket or whatever, a belt. Yeah, just to try something different. So don't worry if you don't have one, right? Always, always, no rules. So we're settling in. You can lie down. You can sit if that feels better for you. Sitting propped always makes it easier. And slowly you become aware of the earth beneath you. And you allow the gravity to act on your body and bring you into that rest, that support. And then you gently bring awareness to your breath. And with the awareness of the breath comes some awareness of gripping or tension, and we can use the exhales to let go of that gripping and tension. So the jaw softens, muscles surrounding the eyes. Bringing awareness to the belly, the space below the belly button. Aware of the inhales and the body breathing. Aware of the exhales. Knowing that the inhales are just as important as the exhales. We need the life force, and we need to let go of the toxins. And one allows the balance of the other. The body breathing. And in this stillness, briefly thinking about what brought you to roll out your mat this morning. What is your hope for your mind, your body, your spirit? Maybe it's something you're working on in your everyday life. An intention for yourself. Shortening that to a word or a phrase. And placing it in an I am statement. Repeating that softly to yourself a few times as if it were true and already happening. I am. Waking up the hands. And with your inhale, floating the arms overhead, any amount in a way that feels good for you. Breathing into this opening. If your legs are extended, maybe you're reaching into the heels and pointing the toes. The shoulders are soft. The breath is smooth. And finding stillness there and reaching into the right heel and the right fingertips and allowing the breath to move into the right side body. As if you were Breathing into your armpit. And then breathing into, extending into the left heel and the left fingertips, softening. So letting go of effort and allowing the breath to move into that left side body. Reaching into the right and left heel, the right and left fingertips. Letting go of efforting. And with your next exhale, floating the arms to either side of the hips and enjoying that journey. Don't be in a hurry to get to the pose. Moving with awareness, allowing the breath to guide you. With your next exhale, one knee comes over the hip and then the other, and maybe you clasp in back of the thighs. Maybe the shins are accessible to you, but you're not hiking the shoulders off the earth. They're still resting there, and you're just scanning the back body as it finds length and support in the earth beneath you. And then maybe with your exhale, you gently gather the belly and safely rock from side to side, exploring the lower back, the hips, maybe making small circles, the knees. Moving so slowly as if you were moving in honey. Letting the breath guide you, and then reversing those circles if you're taking circles. Just starting to be familiar with what you've brought to your practice today. With your next exhale, allow one foot and then the other to step softly back onto the earth. With your exhale, the belly button hugs gently, slowly to the earth. And the lower back opens. And with your inhale, the hip points rock towards your knees, towards your thighs, and the lower back gently arches without efforting. You feel an opening through the heart space, maybe. With your exhale, belly hugs towards the earth. You gently allow the back to rest. Inhaling, exploring pelvic tilts, rocking the hips forward and back on the sacrum. Notice any gripping or tightness in the lower back, softening through the jaw and the shoulders, allowing the breath to guide you in this simple movement. With the intention of bringing awareness to the body, guided by the breath, moving into the felt experience. Finding stillness there and walking the feet to the width of the mat, exhaling both knees over to the left, maybe the arms open out. Inhale to center, exhale to the other side. Just noticing any sensation meeting your body wherever it is today. So we're not forcing anything. We're just allowing gravity to act naturally on the body within our range of motion today at this moment as we warm up. And then finding stillness there, allowing the knees to fall together with the feet wide, and adjusting the feet so the knees naturally rest, so that you're not gripping with the inner thighs. Aware of the foundation of the earth beneath you through the soles of the feet and the hips, the shoulders, and the back of the head. Aware of the body breathing. One breath following the next with just a gentle pause between the breaths. Maybe sighing the breath out as you part the lips. Walking the feet, the knees over the heels and walking the feet back to hips distance. Maybe stepping the feet a little closer to the sitting bones. And then wake up the feet as they root into the earth and find that foundation. Maybe the shoulder blades tuck a little closer together under the heart center. And then you are aware of that connection to the earth, shoulder blades rooting down, or a deeper opening across the collarbones. And maybe this is where you stay, softening the back of the neck. With your inhale, maybe you lift the hips as you extend the knees away and puff up the heart towards the chin. And with your exhale, slowly rolling down. And you're moving mindfully with the breath, honoring your body. Do no harm. Ahimsa, nonviolence, the first limb of yoga that we introduce to our students. Taking care of yourself. And maybe you'd like to pause in the fullest expression of the pose for you, rooting down, activating the legs, extending as if you could reach the knees away and the heart up overhead. And the breath is smooth, and that's how you know you haven't gone too far. And with your exhale, we're slowly lowering down, mindfully allowing the hips to rest back down on the earth. Pausing here, allowing the breath to fill the front and back of the heart space. Allowing the body to absorb the practice. Noticing any shift in sensation, mind, body, and spirit. As we rest in stillness, the sand begins to settle and the water becomes clear. With our next exhale, we draw that right leg in, maybe interlacing the fingers and back of the thigh. Maybe with your exhale, you're able to hug the thigh a little closer to the belly. Maybe with your inhale, you allow it to soften away. Notice the rhythm of the breath as it extends into the lower belly, not forcing it, just noticing that it happens naturally. And we move into the length of the back of the thigh, the glutes, the lower back, softening of those muscles as it becomes available to you with the breath. And then finding stillness there, exhale, rooting the sacrum to the earth by gathering the pit of the belly. And inhaling, extending the right heel to the ceiling, slowly enjoying that journey and pausing when you feel sensation in the back of the thigh. Maybe deepening the bend in the knee, softening the back of the knee, should be any tug in the joint. Just noticing the hamstrings where you're holding some gripping or tension without judging it. Making some circles through the ankle as if you had a crayon on that big toe. Slow it down and then reverse it. And then finding stillness there and fanning the toes out and curling them in. Always guided by the breath. With your next inhale, extend into the heel. As you exhale, release the hands if you've taken a bind. And reach into the toe joints as you fan out the toes. Root the sacrum to the earth, and the left foot is active, the leg is active. Making some basketball-sized circles through that right foot. with that extended leg, slow and controlled, noticing the shift of activity in the core body as the muscles engage and soften, and then reverse those circles, keeping the breath smooth and even as we wake up the core, and then finding stillness there. And with your exhale, bending the knee and floating that foot to the earth, extending that right leg out and allowing the left to come and meet it. And pausing here to scan the body with the breath and notice if there's any difference in sensation in the right side body as compared to the left side body. Does the right side body rest a little differently on the earth? With your next exhale, the pit of the belly gently gathers and we step the right foot and the left to the floor again. Exhaling, hugging that left knee towards the chest, the thigh to the belly, maybe interlacing the fingers and back of the thigh. And again, allowing the breath to guide you as you exhale, a gentle hug of the thigh to belly. As you inhale, a softening away. It's a small movement. Bringing awareness to the subtle energies of the body. With your next exhale, the belly gathers as you root the sacrum to the earth. There's a natural curve in the lower back, and we inhale and extend that left heel to the ceiling, flexing the foot to start to notice the back of this leg in extension. Does this feel a little different than the other, maybe, or not symmetrical? Making some slow, mindful circles through this ankle. And then reversing those circles. And then finding stillness there and fanning the toes out and curling them in. And then extending into the toe joints as you fan the toes out without efforting, making some basketball-sized circles as we root the body to the earth so that it's just the leg moving in the hip socket with relative stillness and the rest of the body without adding gripping or tension. Reverse the circles, guided by the breath. Noticing the shift of work in the body to keep you stable and rooted. And then coming to stillness and exhaling, bending the knee, floating that foot to the earth, extending it out and letting the right leg meet it. And then pausing here in the stillness to surrender to your corpse pose here on the earth. Noticing any shift. With your exhale, one knee and then the other draws in for a hug. And we roll over to one side or the other and pause here using your arm as a pillow to allow the breath to fill the front and back of the heart, to use that breath to massage the body from the inside out, to breathe into the ribs, to breathe and fill the lungs, and the ribs expand to allow that breath to fill. And they open to the earth beneath you and the sky above you. expanding, broadening through the thoracic body with the breath. With your exhale, gather the belly, the hands rest on the earth to press you up as you extend that top leg to come up to sit and then over onto hands and knees. Each movement with awareness, bringing you to all fours. Maybe you need to pad your knees, put a blanket under them. And you find your tabletop with the wrists just in front of the shoulders to take out some of the pressure. And then we root into the pads of the fingers, the palms of the hands, the space between the pointer finger and the thumb, because it is that rooting, that connection to the earth that keeps us secure and safe and allows the upper body to float, to allow the breath to fill and to move with that breath. As we inhale, the tailbone lifts towards the ceiling, the heart extends between the arms, maybe the gaze lifts slightly with your exhale. The tailbone tucks to the heels and we lift the spine to the ceiling. There's no effort there, no compression in the front body. Maybe the crown of the head falls to the ceiling, your body. How does it feel? Allowing the breath to guide you into your cow and your cat. With the intention of bringing awareness to the back body, of trying to move one vertebra at a time, knowing that maybe this isn't quite possible for you right now, and honoring your body, meeting your body wherever it is today. Not judging, not expecting, just allowing. And the next time you inhale, find a neutral spine, a long spine from the crown of the head to the tailbone with the gaze between the fingers. Committing to that connection of the earth. With your exhale, that right leg extends, the toes curl under and rest on the floor. And we reach into that heel, maybe it even slides back a little further, but our shoulders stay right where they are. And when you're ready, as you fire up that leg, you inhale and lift it straight up from the hip, both hips facing the earth. If this is too much for your wrist, you're down on forearms and finding that same work of rooting the forearms into the earth so the shoulder girdle's engaged and keeping you safe. And maybe this is where you'll stay, exploring the breath in the body, maybe backing in and out of it, maybe bringing that knee to the earth, maybe experimenting with inhaling that left arm alongside the ear. The arm is soft in the shoulder socket. And you can extend into the right heel and wake up that left arm. Maybe the thumb can lift to the ceiling without dropping the belly to the earth, hugging the front body up to meet the back, support the back. Exhale, float it down. Inhale to come up over the knees, shake out the arms, the wrists, roll them out, let it go. Maybe it's just me who has trouble with wrists and hands, but it doesn't hurt to get into those joints, to fan the fingers away from each other and cat curl them in, right? The only way synovial fluid gets into joints is by moving them. So how much movement do you get in your hands? Just notice throughout your day. Pause to bring a little love to your hands. Shake it out, let it go. Exhale to gather the belly. So we can fold from the hip creases and come back down into a foundation that works for you. So maybe you're down on your forearms. Maybe you're staying in extended arms without locking the elbows. The arms are strong, the pads of the fingers root down, and the front body supports the back. As you inhale, the left leg extends, bringing mindfulness, awareness to each and every breath linked to movement. Always the option to move things around to find an easy, peaceful way to be in a pose. I only make suggestions. With your next inhale, the left leg extends and lifts, working against gravity. Active leg. And then experimenting within this pose. Where does it take you? Maybe the side's a little different. How's the breath? Maybe you inhale, experimenting with extending the right arm. Maybe that's not working for you today. You feel the breath getting caught, ragged or uneven. As you extend through the fingertips, you allow the arm to settle into the shoulder socket. Maybe the thumb can lift a little higher. Maybe the leg. Finding this expression in your body. With your exhale, floating down, letting the big toes touch and the knees walk a little wide. Exhaling, floating the hips in the direction of the heels. Inhaling, the heart extends. Don't be in a hurry. Exhale, journey down to the earth to find child pose. Resting on the earth. We are of the earth. And we pause to restore ourselves. Bringing your attention to the space between the shoulder blades. Allowing the breath to fill that space, the space in back of the heart. Allowing the back body to broaden. Allowing the breath to echo all the way down the back into the hips. And maybe with the exhales, you find a place to soften. You're able to let go of some efforting, finding an easeful way to be in this child pose. With your exhale, gather the belly, walk the hands under the shoulders, bring yourself up and into your tabletop. If you like to use blocks to come to stand, you'll, or for, we're going to do some lunges, work into the hips a little. We haven't done some hip work in a long time. So there's that. So using blocks or a chair, books work. If you know you need some space to step your knees forward, your feet forward with bent knees. So finding the variation that works for you. Inhaling, that left leg extends back, maybe rocking a little forward and back as you reach into the heel and forward. Nice. And then pause there. Exhale, the knee to the chest, keep the gaze forward. Inhale, tap it back, extend into the heel. Exhale, pit of the belly gathers, knee floats to the chest, but heart stays reaching away from the belly. Nice. Feeling that core work that is necessary. Next time you exhale, bring that knee forward and help it all the way forward. So now your foot is between your hands. Maybe you're up on a chair and that feels better for your shoulders. And you still get the benefit of working into the hips. So variations are important to find the one that fits your body today. Might be different tomorrow. And then we check in. Do we feel safe, secure, supported? Rooting firmly into the earth through that left foot and the right toes. And then we check in with the hips. And we activate the legs as if you could slide the left heel and the right knee together. Notice what happens in the legs into the hips. Keep that work. Exhale and inhale. Walk the hands to the thigh. Trying to keep that same work in the foundation of the pose, to not hang on the hips. Maybe notice the sensation in the front of the right hip. Breathe into it. Maybe you're inhaling and extending that right arm. Does that change the sensation in that right hip? Just noticing. Breathing into the right side body. With your exhale, the belly gathers, that right hand floats down to the right thigh. Maybe you extend the arms forward to the chair or down to the blocks. Any height, right? 3 heights on those blocks. Inhaling, lengthening the heart away from the belly. Exhaling as you reach that left hip back. Working into the back of that left leg. Maybe the foot flexes. You come onto the heel. Inhale with control, coming forward into that lunge without hanging or forcing into that right hip. Know where your edge is. Meet your body. Using your breath to guide you in and out of these lunges. Aware of the heart. Aware of soft shoulders, using the breath to guide you. Nice. The next time you inhale forward, pause there. Find that connection, the rooting to the earth through both legs, as if you could scissor the left heel and the right hip towards each other. Inhale, walk your shoulders over your hips. Maybe the hands rest on the thigh. Pause there. Do you need to adjust? Maybe walking that left foot wider to the edge of the mat helps to have a wider foundation. Inhale, float the ribs out of the hips. Exhale, palms to heart center. Inhale, lifting the heart into the thumbs. Exhale, floating the heart towards that bent knee. Inhale, float to center. Exhale, gentle twist. Maybe you're backing out of this pose and working in the twist. Please honor your body. Don't wait for me to suggest something. Yes. Everything can be done from a chair or standing. Nice. The next time you inhale forward, find stillness there. Exhale, hug the belly in. Float the hands down so they land softly. Exhale, step that knee back. Take some hip circles here if that helps. Wag your tail, cat-cow the spine. As long as you're moving carefully with awareness to let go. And then pause, set yourself up. Inhaling, the right leg extends. So reaching into the heel, maybe rocking forward and back. And then we're exhaling, hugging the knee to the chest, thigh to belly. Inhaling, floating it back, keeping the heart extended, the back of the neck soft, the gaze ahead of you, so that we're not collapsing the upper body, but just working through the pit of the belly and the core. Nice. Next time you exhale, step that right foot all the way through. Nice. And then you find a place to settle in this lunge that works for you. Broadening the stand, forward, back, side to side, the foundation rather. And then we root into the right foot, the sole of the right foot, and the toes of the left. We inhale, find length and softness of the shoulders and the back of the neck. And we exhale, and maybe we find that scissoring of drawing the left knee and the right heel together. Maybe it's not sustainable for you, but for a breath, you're aware of those muscles. Just experiment, be open, and then adjust for your body. Exhaling, that right hip floats back. The spine stays long. Maybe you come up on the heel, your body. Inhale, slowly coming forward without pressing into the left hip. We just allow an opening as we lift through the crown of the head. Exhaling, working the back of the right leg, the hip. Where do you notice sensation? The lower back, the glutes. Inhaling to lengthen through the front body, from the left knee through the crown of the head. Exploring a few more breaths. Keeping the breath smooth and even, slowing down the movement to meet the breath. And the next time you inhale into that lunge, find stillness there. Root down so you can inhale and lengthen up, maybe one hand, and then the other comes to the top of the thigh. Maybe not today. Maybe you inhale that left arm, softening the arm in the shoulder socket, noticing if this brings different sensation. Being aware of the breath and smoothing it out. Exhaling, that arm floats down. One hand and then the other floats to the heart center. Maybe you're backing out of this. Or floating in and out. Inhale, lifting the heart into the thumbs, softening the shoulders. Exhale, heart moves towards the right knee. Inhale to center. Nice. We're not rigid. We're flowing. We're honoring our bodies, paying attention to sensation, and backing out of anything that doesn't feel right. Nice. And the next time you come back to center, we're exhaling to support the body and floating the hands to gently come back down for support so that we can step that right knee back and then let go. Find movement in a way that feels right for you. Hip circles, cat-cows, wagging your tail. Nice. We're going to come up to stand. So if you coming up through the same way through a lunge, maybe there's one knee, one way that works better for you. Maybe you favor a leg just out of habit. So maybe you'll experiment with stepping the opposite leg forward. So with your exhale, we're using the core to step one foot forward. We're curling the toes under of the other leg. If you're coming forward this way, you're exhaling and stepping that foot forward. You have bent knees. The breath is smooth and even, and as you root down, you can inhale all the way up. Enjoying that journey, rolling through the shoulders, allowing the breath to guide you. Appreciating each and every moment, not missing it. Inhale the shoulders to the ears, exhale, let them drop. Inhaling and exhaling. And taking a shoulder loop so the shoulders slide up. They slide together and they soften down the back. And then we become aware of the soles of the feet and wake up the feet. And notice the echo of that energy as it moves into the legs and the core body and the breath. We allow the bones to float in the body, safe and supported as we root into the earth, smoothing out the breath. Nice. And with your next inhale, allow the right arm to extend. Nice. Keep that foundation, the awareness of the breath. With your next inhale, lengthen through the crown of the head so that we can exhale and open over, reaching through those fingertips without efforting into the shoulder. Inhale all the way up. Exhale over. Notice the work in the body, the guiding breath. Keeping equal weight in both feet, so keep rooting into the right leg as you move slowly over to the left. And the next time you come over, maybe you pause there, soften that arm in the shoulder socket, and breathe into the right armpit, the right ribs. Your exhale, we fire up the belly so that we can inhale safely up to stand and float that arm down. And pause here in your mountain pose. Maybe your eyes softly close, if that feels right for you. Bringing awareness to the palms of your hands. Noticing the palms of your hands and the sensation in the right palm and the left. Softly blinking open your eyes. Inhaling the left arm alongside your ear, or maybe it's in cactus, maybe it's not extended at all. Rooting into that foundation so that we can float the upper body over the hips and guide the body over with the exhale and lift it back up to neutral with the inhale. Using your breath to explore the side body, to allow an opening as you root into that left leg and find length from hip to armpit. And maybe you choose to rest in the stillness of this expression, softening the left arm in the shoulder socket and allowing the breath to fill the left armpit, the left ribs, allowing the body to accept the breath. With your exhale, engaging the belly so that you can inhale up to neutral, float that arm down, shake it out, let it go, and land in your Tadasana. Rooting down lengthen up, aware of the palms of your hands. The sensation of energy moving in your body. Pausing to allow the sand to settle and the water to become clear. Softly blinking open the eyes. Finding a gazing point ahead of you. And with your inhale, the arms float out, around, and up. And with your exhale, we keep a long spine as we fold at the hips and soften the knees, coming parallel to the earth, allowing the shoulder blades to slide together. Inhaling to find length. Exhaling, allowing the hip creases to reach back. Maybe deepening the bend in the knees. Maybe exploring chair pose as you inhale and lengthen the heart away from the thighs. Softening the back of the neck. Maybe experimenting with inhaling the arms into goddess. Exhale, root into the feet, and inhale as you slowly straighten the legs to extend up. And exhale, palms float together to meet at the heart center. Inhaling, floating the arms out, around, and up. Exhaling, hip creases reach back, knees bend. Finding length from the crown of the head to the tailbone. With your exhale, maybe the knees bend a little deeper. The weight comes into the heels. And we inhale and peel the heart away from the thighs. Maybe experimenting with lifting the arms. And with your exhale, root into the feet. Slowly bringing yourself up to stand. And floating the palms together to meet at the heart center. Pausing here in your mountain pose, your Tadasana. Checking in to smooth out the breath. To honor the thoughts. And to allow them to settle. Gently bringing the focus back to the breath. Following it from beginning to end. Allowing the hands to float to the hips. The weight shifts over the right leg, coming onto the toes of the left. Pausing here. Maybe this is where you'll stay today. Just experimenting with strength and balance of that right leg. And floating the upper body. Maybe with your exhale, the left foot lifts, and with your inhale, it taps down. Maybe with your exhale, that knee lifts and then taps down. Slow it down. Commit to the foundation without locking that knee. Use the breath to guide you. Notice the self-talk. Be kind to yourself. And the next time you exhale and that knee is lifted, maybe you pause there to root down and lengthen up. Breathing into the heart space. And slowly with your exhale, you gently bring that foot back down to the earth and have equal weight in both feet. Pausing here. Checking in with the breath. Allowing the weight to shift into the left leg. Coming onto the toes of the right. Root down Notice as the energy works up that leg, up through the core body, floating out the crown of the head. With your exhale, maybe you're able to lift that right foot. With your inhale, tapping it down. Maybe you're able to lift the knee and tap it down. Your body, your practice. There is no right or wrong. Knowing when to challenge, when to honor, guided by the breath. Maybe you come to stillness with the foot flexed or the knee lifted. You commit to the foundation and lengthen up. And slowly, mindfully exhaling, bringing that foot gently to the earth and equal weight into both legs. And breathing into the felt expression of mountain pose. What does it mean to you to root into the earth, lengthen to the vast sky above you, and breathe into the heart space? How does that feel? What do you notice? Mindfully stepping to face the long side of your mat. Walking the feet wide to a comfortable, safe distance. With the pinky toe sides of the feet, even with the short sides of the mat. And we root to the earth and inhale to find length and engage the core, and exhale with awareness to hinge at the hips, softening the knees but keeping the legs strong. To inhale and float up. Maybe the arms come into cactus, maybe they extend behind you. Exhaling, hinging forward, lengthening through the crown of the head as you reach into the soles of the feet. Inhaling up, exploring motion with your breath, your body. And then the next time you hinge at the hips, we come to stillness there. Maybe the hands float to the tops of the thighs. As you press into the right foot, we bend into the left. Feeling into the inner thigh, inhaling back to neutral, to center, exhaling, pressing into the earth, bending the right knee, moving from side to side. Maybe you're not forward, you're standing more upright. How's the breath? But still you're supported and safe. As you work into the inner thighs, keeping length through the back, and then finding stillness and center, and inhaling, floating up, pivoting the right foot to the top of the mat, maybe walking that left foot back a little, heel out a little further than the toes, or not. What's feels good for you in your practice. And then finding that connection to the earth, finding that foundation that keeps you safe and supported as the energy of the earth travels up the legs, stabilizes the hips, allows the breath to move deeper so that when you exhale and settle the hips straight down and bend into that right knee, you keep that long stacked spine. And we can inhale and find our expression of warrior. Strong and gentle. Energy flowing smoothly, one breath to the next. And as you exhale, that left arm floats down and you inhale and reach straight up through the right, pausing here to root down again, to lengthen just a little more, to float into your expression of peaceful warrior. Breathing, allowing the breath to echo into the right side body. Exhaling into the earth, inhaling, floating back into your warrior two. Feeling into the stillness of the pose. Floating the hands down, straightening into that right leg, pivoting that foot forward, pausing here. Pivoting the left foot to the back of the mat. Finding your foundation, committing to that stability. Rooting down so you can lengthen up. And exhale, settle the hips straight down, bending into that left knee. Breathing into your warrior. Breathing into the felt expression as you extend from the heart to the fingertips, from the earth through the crown of the head, allowing the bones to float, finding the balance between effort and ease. As you exhale, the right hand floats to the back of the thigh. As you inhale, the left arm extends. As you exhale, rooting down, to inhale and find some space to float into an expression of peaceful warrior. Allowing the breath to fill the left side body. Committing to the foundation. Allowing the breath to move freely and inhaling to your warrior. Floating the arms down, straightening into that left leg, pivoting it forward to heel toe, mindfully stepping to your mountain pose. Pausing here. Sighing the breath out, evening out the breath, checking in. And we'll float back down to the earth, so using a chair or blocks if you need them. We inhale, maybe sweeping the arms up to extend. And we exhale to hinge forward, bowing to the earth. We inhale to find length and exhale to deeply bend the knees, to find support through the fingertips, to step one knee back and then the other. Coming to sit onto the heels so that we can let the hips come to one side and the legs to float out in front of us, and then scooting up to the top of the mat. Finding your strap, if you have one. We're coming into our boat pose, experimenting with a different way of coming into the pose. So not necessary to have the strap, but we'll see what this does for us. So the strap comes under or around the toe joints. The heels are on the floor. And we can use this foundation of the tails of the strap in the hands with a soft grip. We allow the shoulders to slide down the back, and we inhale and lengthen straight up through the crown of the head. And we find the breath. And as we extend into the heels, or reach into the toes, I should say, slide the heels back as you allow the weight to float to the top of the sacrum. Maybe you're able to lift the heels, soften the shoulders. Maybe you're able to reach into the toe joints and extend into the legs. The heart is lifting. You're not allowing the lower back to soften to the floor. Be patient with yourself. Slide the feet wider if that helps. To reach into the feet and lift the heart. Let it go if it's not working for you. Find the breath. Smile, just yoga. Exhale. Bend the knees. Float those feet to the earth. Let go of the strap. Roll out the shoulders. Sigh the breath out. And mindfully bring yourself down to lie on your back in whatever way feels right for you. Maybe rolling over to the side and then rolling onto your back is the kind way to come to the earth. And then allow the spine to settle, to find its length, to be supported. Allow the breath to smooth out. Maybe the knees are bent. Maybe the legs are extended. No right or wrong, just pause here. Allow the breath to soften into the body. Maybe you're able to extend one leg and then the other if they aren't already. Inhaling, the right arm extends overhead or out to the side. As you reach into the right heel, you extend into the right fingertips without an extra ounce of effort. You allow the breath to move into the right side body. And with your exhale, that right leg softens, the arm comes to rest alongside the body. Inhaling the left arm. Maybe the side's a little different. You find a different place for the arm to rest. As you reach into the left heel and the left fingertips, the breath moves into that space you've created. And you smooth out the breath. And exhale, soften that left leg and allow the arm to float back down to the side of the body. Inhaling to fill the front and back of the heart space and exhaling one knee and then the other floats in towards the chest, clasping if that feels good for you. Softening. And then with mindfully getting some movement if that feels right. And then coming to stillness here. And we'll take a final spinal twist. So maybe there's a twist that you've done in the past that you like to come into. I'll just lead you into a stacked knee twist. With your exhale, one knee and then the other floats out to the side. Maybe you prop between the knees or under the bottom leg. So the legs rest. And we inhale and open up the arms out in T or somewhere in that direction. And notice how it feels, the way our palms up or down. Try the opposite and settle into a pose that feels right for you. Maybe your gaze turns towards the fingertips opposite the knees. Soften with the exhales. Lengthen with the inhales from armpit to hip. Becoming aware of the back body. And with your next exhale, soften, let go. Maybe that means the back floats a little closer to the earth, less of a twist. Maybe that means you have space to lengthen the hip away from the armpit. There is no right or wrong. What does the awareness of the breath bring to you? Pausing in stillness. With your inhale, gazing up to the ceiling. With your exhale, one knee and then the other comes up to center. And then they float over one and then the other to the other side. And you settle into the pose on this side, propping if you need to allow the body to rest, to allow the breath to be smooth. Aware of that space across the collarbone. Aware of the energy from fingertip to fingertip. Aware of the breath in the side body. Aware of the breath in the back body. Using the exhales to soften. Gazing to the fingertips opposite the knees if you haven't already. Then softening where you need to soften, meeting your body wherever it is. With your inhale, gazing up to the ceiling. With your exhale, the knees float over the hips. One more time. Taking time to complete your practice with anything we haven't done. And then when you're ready, covering up, propping, preparing for Shavasana and rest. Choosing stillness and settling into the earth beneath you, safe and supported, as if you were lying on the warm sand on a summer day. The sand comes up to meet your curves. And you feel safe and supported with the warmth of the earth, filling your body. We are of the earth. The earth sustains us. Following the breath from beginning to end. Your natural rhythm with just a gentle pause between the breaths. Allowing the breath to flow in through the tip of the nose and out through the tip of the nose, if possible, to tap into that peaceful side of the nervous system. This is the intention of yoga. To bring the mind, the body, and the spirit back into balance. to bring that balanced way of living into our lives, off our mats, to come from a peaceful, loving heart. Using the breath to guide us. With the support of the earth that's always there. The vast sky above us and all the possibilities that it holds. Breathing into the wise heart, the knowing that's always there. The quality of awareness directly related to the quality of the experience. Bringing awareness into each and every breath and moment of our day. Pausing in the stillness that restores us. And I'll be here to guide you out. Slowly becoming aware of your body resting on the earth. Becoming aware of the space surrounding you. Gently deepening your inhales and your exhales. Slowly inviting movement back into the fingertips and toes. Allowing that movement to get a little bigger. And maybe with your inhale, inviting the arms to extend one more time. And with your exhale, lowering the arms to a comfortable position. Bending one knee and then the other to stack the feet softly onto the earth. And pausing here, transitioning. Feeling more awake and alert with every inhale. Aware of what your practice has given to you today. Using your arm as a pillow, rolling over to one side or the other. Filling the front and back of the heart space with breath as you breathe into the wings of the heart. Keeping your eyes softly closed if that suits you, using your hands on the earth to press into it and draw yourself up into a comfortable, peaceful, seated position. And with your inhale, we extend. And with your exhale, we allow the palms to float together, to come through the heart center and rest there. Meeting our lives the way our palms meet. Gentle awareness. And we lift our hearts. And we bow our heads to honor the perfect light that shines in all of us and unites us. This practice is meant to be continuous, to be of benefit for all beings. May all beings be happy. May all beings be healthy. May they know peace. And may they walk through this world with ease. Namaste. Thank you for sharing this practice with me.